I want the Pute. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
I want say good evening, sir.
Right. Last week
Good
we
evening, sir.
did an activity to prove the products of combustion. So what are the main products of the combustion? If you use that hydrocarbon fuel, okay, let's get that methane, CH4. If you burn it, which means reaction with oxygen gas. Yes. What are the main products? You can understand from these hydrocarbons, carbons, carbon react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, right? It's a gas. Hydrogen react with oxygen to produce water vapor. That's water gas, right? And energy is released. So we have to balance this. Chemical equation balance කරන්න නෑනේ. So therefore, that's a confusing thing for you. Don't think it, right? So main products, carbon dioxide and water vapor. So you have to consider that. Main products are carbon dioxide and water. Right. But there are some instances, instead of carbon dioxide, that partially because of this lack of oxygen, instead of carbon dioxide, sometimes carbon monoxide, CO, and just carbon suits, carbon deli, carbon විතරක්. පිට වෙන අවස්ථා තියෙනවා. Instead of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and carbon is produced. Carbon deli, carbon soot is produced. So that happens when partial combustion, that's incomplete combustion occurs. So this happens when complete combustion occurs. Yes. And there are some features of the flame of the complete combustion. Its color is blue, right? So these are the things we have to learn today. And last week we learned the main products of the combustion. And how did you get to know this is carbon dioxide? I think you remember that setup. Use that delivery tube. So what do you use here? So candle, and we have to suck the air. Use this substance here. Substance, okay, let's see, that's A. Okay, let's use a flask. So you have to immerse this to the bottom. Immerse it to the bottom, right? This was a suction pump. Vacuum pump. Right. So what's the substance in B or substance in A? When air is sucked, the flowing of air occurs like this. Okay, Vihanga. So what's this substance A?
Calcium hydroxide.
Yes, Vihanga's answer is calcium hydroxide. Yes, is there anyone telling? So this substance A is another substance.
Anhydrous copper sulfate.
Yes, Tisuka tells anhydrous copper sulfate. Okay. I think Vihanga, now you remember you have done that mistake. So what this B substance? Sinelli?
Wo-
Calcium hydroxide.
So that's calcium hydroxide. So B is calcium hydroxide. A is, yes, anhydrous. That means white color. Anhydrous copper sulfate. So its color is white. White color. So what happens to this anhydrous white color copper sulfate when this practical is done? Abhita, what happens to the white color anhydrous copper sulfate when you do this practical?
Anhydrous copper sulfate turns into hydrated.
Very good. This anhydrous copper sulfate turn into hydrated copper sulfate. It turns into hydrated. That means CuSO4 dot 5H2O, you know. So what's the color of that?
Blue color.
That's blue. Very good. Right? Vihanga, what happens when this happens? You
color.
can see this bubbling of air in this flask. Or there's another vessel used here, right? So what kind of observation can be seen here?
Just go.
Yes, calcium hydroxide, that's colorless.
Calcium
Initially that's
hydroxide.
colorless.
Pink.
Yes, that's changed into colorless to milky. මේක සිලබස් එකට නැහැ. නමුත් මම හුඟ ඉස්සර කියලා දීලා තියෙනවා ඒ milky color substance එක මොකක්ද කියලා. කාටද මතක? Remember that. What's that milky color substance?
Carbon dioxide.
That's carbon dioxide is a gas. The only gas that's turned this colorless calcium hydroxide into milky color. Carbon dioxide වල color එකක් නෑ. එහෙනම් මේ තියෙන carbon dioxide දුමක් වගේ පේන්න පැසුදු පාටට.
So lime water.
Lime water is calcium hydroxide. Lime water is just calcium hydroxide, right?
So which substance?
Yes, which substance becomes milky color? මන්නිකම ඩාන්නේ මං කියලා දීලා තියෙනවා වගේ මට මතකයි. What's formed? Carbon dioxide දැවිලා calcium hydroxide මොනව බවටද පත් කරන්නේ? It converts into what?
Calcium.
සුදු පාට ජාතියක් දැකලා නැද්ද? So that's actually precipitates. That's not a soluble substance. It's a powder form, right? Crystals are formed. ඔය මුහුදේ එහෙම තියෙන සිප්පි කටු. Right? Coral reefs.
Water.
What it consists. ගොළු බෙල්ලගේ කට්ටේ තියෙන්නේ මොනවද? Compound. What's that compound? All of you can try.
Calcium carbonate.
Yes. ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ උත්තර එන්න කලින් මයික් එක ඔෆ් කරන්න. Hiron's answer is correct, but we hear part of that.
Calcium
carbonate. Calcium carbonate.
Very good, Abhita. That's calcium carbonate. මතක නැද්ද මේ reaction එක මම ලිව්වා? What's this? දෙවන්නේ music part එක නම් ලස්සනයි background music එක. දෙවන් කවුද?
sorry sir.
Who is that? Anyway, that's beautiful, right? අපි chance එකක් දෙන්න දවස. දෙවන් කියන මේ මොකද්ද? What's this? Any volunteer?
Calcium carbonate.
කවුදනේ මේක දිහා බලන්න calcium carbonate කියුවේ කියන? මෙතන ලියලා තියෙනවා. අපි මෙතන calcium carbonate දැම්මද?
Calcium hydroxide.
That's calcium hydroxide. Okay, what's the common name of that?
Lime water.
It's lime water, right? It's lime water. When it reacts with carbon dioxide, what is formed?
Easy to water sir.
No. වතුර සුදු පාට වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
Sir, calcium carbonate and water both.
Very good. Calcium carbonate, solid substance. එයා වතුරේ දිය වෙන්නේ එකයි පුතේ සුදු පාට කිරි පාට එකක් වෙන්නේ, right? The suspension. This is a liquid. This carbon dioxide, a gas, right? So this is aqueous substance, AQ. So this calcium carbonate is a reason to give that milky color. ඒක හරියට හුණු ගල් ටිකක් කුඩු කරලා වතුරට දැම්මා වගේ. Just like you crush a calcium carbonate stone and put it in water. නේද? හුණු කැල්ලක් කුඩු කරලා දැම්මා වගේ, right? So that's why this calcium carbonate milky color is produced. Because this calcium hydroxide is colorless, but when calcium carbonate is made, that becomes milky color. If you further aerate carbon dioxide, so this becomes calcium bicarbonate. So it becomes again colorless. Colorless, තව ටිකක් carbon dioxide යවුවොත්. It becomes calcium bicarbonate. CaHCO3 twice වෙනවා. තවත් අපි යවුවොත් මොනවද? තවත් carbon dioxide යවුවොත් මෙයා වෙනවා. ඒකෙන් තමයි අපි sulfur dioxide මෙයා වෙන් කරලා හඳුනගන්නේ. So there's another gas actually, that's sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide also can change this color of calcium hydroxide into milky color. But so it's never colorless again. ආයෙත් එයා colorless වෙන්නේ නැහැ. But if you use its carbon dioxide, first it becomes milky color and later it becomes again colorless. That colorless substance is calcium bicarbonate. If you use sulfur dioxide, calcium sulfate is produced. So it never formed this calcium bisulfate. So that's the reason behind that. Okay. Could you understand? Right? So these are the things we discussed last week. මම හිතනවා the revise කරපු එක හොඳයි කියලා. It's better to revise today. If not, you'll forget all the stuff. Is it clear now? Javana? පැහැදිලිද? Right? Keep this in your mind. This will be in your exam paper. මොකද කියන්නේ අපි Pansilu and Tanul. ඔයාලා ඉස්කෝලේ පේපර් හදන පැනල් එකේ අය නම් ඔයාලට මේක එක්සෑම් එකට දාන්න හිතනව නේද? අහන්න ප්‍රශ්න ගොඩයි නේද මේකේ? There are lots them to ask.
ඒක දැම්මොත් අපේ යාළුව ඊයනයි.
ඇයි කාටවත් මතක නැද්ද මේක? No one
නේද?
knows.
අපි නෙමෙයි
අව-
අපේ යාළුව
අපේ
ඉස්කෝලේ.
යාළුවෝ ඒක තමයි. ඉස්කෝලේ අපේ යාළුවෝ මේකට එච්චර attention එකක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. They are not paying much attention to this. Right? Now this will be appeared in your exam. මම දන්නවා ඉස්කෝලේ ටීචර් එයා මේක දානවා. Right? So then you can score it. Hirun, is it clear?
Yes.
Right. Tanul, okay with that? දැන් මේවා සමහර අයට වැදගත් කියලා ඉතින් ලියා ගන්නවා. ඒක ලිව්වත් නැත්නම් විභාගෙට එන්නේ. But you like that chemistry, so you can sketch it or you can watch it later, right? Let's move on. Today take down complete combustion and partial combustion. In your school book, it has been given as complete combustion and incomplete combustion of fuels.
Then sir, what should be right?
What should be written, right? What should be written? Complete combustion and partial combustion, or you can write complete combustion and incomplete combustion. Complete, incomplete, complete, incomplete. Right. Subtopic takedown, complete combustion. Right. Complete combustion occurs. Complete combustion occurs. Complete combustion occurs when sufficient
Complete combustion occurs
when sufficient amount of oxygen when the sufficient amount of oxygen is available. When adequate amount or when sufficient amount of oxygen is available. When adequate amount of oxygen or when sufficient amount of oxygen is available. Okay. Another important thing, when that complete combustion occurs, what are the only products? One of the එකම products වර්ග දෙක ලැබෙන. It uses hydrocarbon fuel.
Carbon.
Yes. Products are only carbon dioxide and
hydrogen.
hydrogen පිට වෙන්නේ නැහැ, right? Hydrogen එම් පිට වෙන කොච්චර හොඳද? ඈ පුතේ fuel එකක් burn කරපුවාම තවත් fuel එකක් පිට වෙනව නෑ නේ වැඩක්. දැන් උතන රත් වෙලා තියෙන තැනක්. Why don't you think practically? Complete combustion එකක් වෙනවනේ එතන. Combustion, right? ගිනි ගන්න තැනක hydrogen හැදෙන්න පුළුවන්. අභිත, what happens if hydrogen is created? Hydrogen is produced. What happens? Hydrogen gas එක හැදුනොත් එතන oxygen තිබිලා මොනවද හැදෙන්නේ? ආයි water vapor හැදෙනව නේද? Right?
Yes.
එහෙනම් මට කියන අනිත් එක්කෙනා කවුද? Products are only carbon dioxide and H2O vapor,
Water vapor.
water vapor, or H2O gas. Right. So nature of the flame, දැල්ල මොන වගේද? Nature of the flame. Okay, so you have to keep this in your mind. If complete combustion occurs, flame is blue in color. Flame is blue in color. So I think you have seen this. When complete combustion occurs, the amount of heat energy produced is also very high, right? Amount of heat generated is also very high. Higher amount of energy is produced. The amount of heat generated is also very high. නිපදවන තාප ප්‍රමාණයත් හරිම වැඩි. Have you ever seen blue color flame in
Yes,
your
sir.
gas stove, gas cooker එකේ? You have seen that,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
This is blue in color. ලේසිද අල්ලන්න පුළුවන්ද ඒක? Can you touch it?
Bunsen burner.
Bunsen burner හැම වෙලාවෙම නෙමෙයි, right? Look
Blue
at this.
fire is
So this is the
blue fire is
Bunsen
more
burner.
powerful than normal fire.
Yes, so this is your Bunsen burner. I think you have seen this. There's a ring that can be rotated. There's inner ring. ඇතුළේ තව ring එකක් තියෙනවා නේද? When that's set perfectly, it becomes fully open. When it is fully open, the color of this flame is, when it is fully open, yes, sufficient amount, adequate amount of oxygen comes. Then what's the color of this? Blue, right? And if this is partially closed, if you have closed this, so this flame is yellowish. So yellow color, more yellow color can be seen. More yellow can be seen. Have you ever observed that? Bunsen burner? Right. Another thing, the candle flame. Candle flame. What's the color of that?
Yellow.
It's
Yellow.
mainly yellow, but there's a blue zone as well. නිල් පාට කලාපයක් blue zone එකකුත් තියෙනවා. Sineri, can you hear me? Right? There's a blue zone. Okay, next we are going to study ඊළඟට යන්නේ මේ flame වල zones අඳුන ගන්න. Right? Okay, did you take this down?
Yes, sir.
Products are only carbon dioxide and water vapor. The nature of the flame,
Yes, sir.
flame is blue in color. Yes, amount of heat generated is also very high in complete combustion. Right. Next, take down subtopic incomplete combustion or partial combustion. Incomplete combustion or partial combustion. Incomplete combustion or partial combustion. Right. When it happens? When adequate or sufficient amount of oxygen is not available. When adequate, when sufficient amount of oxygen is not available, when adequate amount of oxygen is not available, incomplete combustion occurs. When it happens, when adequate amount of oxygen is not available. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මොනවද හැදෙන්නේ? Products.
Carbon dioxide and water vapor.
Yes, carbon dioxide and water vapor. So that's what usually occurs. But here, carbon dioxide occurs. Not enough oxygen. Oxygen ප්‍රමාණවත් තරම් තිබ්බොත් පුතේ CO2 විතරයි හැදෙන්නේ. But here, a toxic gas is produced. That's carbon monoxide. Mono di. Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. Mono means one, right? Carbon monoxide. Very toxic. Very toxic gas. How it becomes toxic? Right? So you know that when red blood cells flow in blood, there's a carrier of oxygen. So we call that hemoglobin. Hemoglobin protein එකක් තියෙනවා. Hemoglobin proteins can be seen in red blood cell. So this hemoglobin combined with oxygen to form what? Oxyhemoglobin, HbO2. Lungs වලදී oxygen දාගන්න oxyhemoglobin විදියට. When it goes to tissues, මේක අනිත් පැත්තටත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. That's reversive. That means this hemoglobin is broken into, oxyhemoglobin is broken into hemoglobin plus oxygen. අවශ්‍ය කෙනෙකුට oxygen දීලා hemoglobin ට ආපහු එන්න පුළුවන් පෙනහළු වලට. So that's continuously transportation of oxygen happens through the blood by using the hemoglobin protein, right? Then මොකද්ද මේ carbon monoxide වලින් මොකද වෙන්නේ? If you are exposed to this toxic gas carbon monoxide, what happens? That hemoglobin molecules are not further available for the transportation of oxygen. That's not further available for the transportation of තිසුක කවුරු එක්කද කතා කරන්නේ? You're talking with what? කවුද උතන? දැන් බොහොම වැදගත් දෙයක් කියලා දුන්නා. The most important thing I explained. Now turn on your microphone. සර් කතා කරනවනේ එතකොට ඔයාගේ මයික් එක දැන් ඔන් වෙලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. කවුද උතන ඔයත් එක්ක කතා කළේ?
With my mom.
Your mother?
Yes.
හරි. දැන් පුතා අහගන්න hemoglobin කොච්චර වටිනවද මොකද්ද hemoglobin වලින් වෙන්නේ කියලා? What's hemoglobin? කොහෙද ඒක තියෙන්නේ? Hemoglobin is what? Where is it exist? තිසුක කියන්න. දැන් මම ඒක මෙහි උඩට දාගෙන කියලා දෙනවා මම. ටිකක් අමාරුයි. හරි? ඔයා ඒ වෙලාවේ බලන්න වීඩියෝ එකේ ඔයා මම ප්‍රොම්ප්ට් කරලත් හැමෝටම පේන්න ඔයා කවුද ඔය එක කතා කරන්නේ. Maybe your mother. හරි? පුතේ ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕන හරියට ඉගෙන ගන්න. නැත්තම් ඔයාලා පන්තියේ නිකන් ඉන්නවා විතරයි. පන්තියේ ඉන්නෝයි. පන්තියේ වාඩිලා හිටියට වැඩක් නැහැ. හරි? hemoglobin මොකද කරන්නේ? What it does? Right? දැන් ඒකත් අම්මගෙන් අහගන්න. හරි. අනිත් අය කියන්න මට. So this where this hemoglobin exists in red blood cells. Right? So it is used to transport oxygen. But it temporarily bind with oxygen. This hemoglobin temporarily bind with that. తాවකාලිකව බැඳෙන. අවශ්‍ය වෙලාවට යාට පුළුවන්. When it is required, hemoglobin molecule, hemoglobin protein is separated and oxygen is supplied to cells. Oxygen ටික cells වලට දීලා hemoglobin ආපහු වෙනවා. Then this hemoglobin molecule can transport another oxygen because hemoglobin is available for the transportation of oxygen. මෙන්න බලන්න වෙන වැඩි. Carbon monoxide එක්ක මේක බැඳුනොත් what happens if it is bind with carbon monoxide? So this is called carboxy hemoglobin. So that's called carboxy hemoglobin. ආයනම් පුතේ hemoglobin වලට ගැලවිල්ලක් හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට අපිට oxygen transport කරන්න hemoglobin තියෙනවද? Now it is limited. The amount of hemoglobin for the transportation of oxygen becomes limited. ඒකද carbon monoxide තියෙන තැන් වලට යන්න එපා. Right? So carbon monoxide gas is produced in smoking. Cigarette smoking කරද්දී carbon monoxide හැදෙනවා. ඉල්ලම් කනවා වගේ වැඩක්. මොකද වෙන්නේ? Transportation of oxygen is decreased. මේගොල්ලන්ට කලන්ති ගතිය කැරකිල්ල හරි? නිතරම ටික කාලයක් යද්දී faint වෙන ගතිය, සිහිය නැතුව වැටෙනෙව්වා. ඒව හැදෙන්න පුළුවන්. And it consists nicotine like carcinogenic substances පිළිකාකාරක තියෙනවා. So this carbon monoxide is highly affects to your respiration. ඔබගේ ශ්වසන ක්‍රියාවලිය, ශක්තිය නිපදවීමේ ක්‍රියාවලියට බාධා කරනවා. Right? So that's one of the bad products in incomplete combustion. Incomplete. Another one, carbon oxygen එකක්වත් නැහැ. So that's just carbon suits, carbon deli. Have you ever seen the kerosene lamp flame of the kerosene lamp? ලාම්පු කුප්පියේ දැල්ල දැකලා තියෙනවද පුතාලා? Okay, hands up those who have ever seen the flame of the kerosene lamp. Right. So this is the flame. And you can see a black color substance is rapidly moving now. Not only kerosene, but also that's benzene. When burning benzene, also the same thing happens. Okay, let's see in that. So this is actually the experiment. Kerosene lamp is filled with petrol and diesel, right? මේක මේ ටිකක් වෙනස් පරීක්ෂණයක්. Look at this. So it's a kerosene lamp. Can you see that carbon soot is moving out? Diesel is used instead. So more carbon consists, more soot may be there. එකද දැල්ල වැඩි. Can you see this carbon soot is very high?
Sir, diesel වල blast වෙන්නේ නැද්ද?
Yes, diesel වල carbon
Excuse
වැඩි,
me,
right?
sir.
Yes, පුතා.
Sir, why is that kerosene lamps is blue in color?
That's different. Sometimes it's right according to the nature of that original substance, some chemicals used for that, right? So what's this? There's in petrol. So that's so dangerous, right? Less amount of carbon suits aduvi. So rapidly burning, not easy to happy to thank you, your Belwet, right? Okay. Incomplete combustion occurs, carbon soot, Delhi, right? And carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. Yes, someone is telling my science marks.
Sir,
Anybody? The group. මේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ ලකුණු යොපුවම අපි group එකට දාන්න කියන. So then others are enthusiastic knowing that and taking higher marks. Yes, in addition to this, water vapor. H2O gas. Right. What about the heat generated compared to complete combustions? Less amount of heat. Heat is generated. Compared to complete combustion, less amount of heat is generated. Okay, take this down. What's the color of the flame? Color of the flame is yellow in color. Right. Okay, next take down. Candle flame. Candle flame. So you have to name the parts of the flame in the exam. විභාගෙට දැල්ලක කොටස් නම් කරන්න. In that case, you have to know the regions, the zones of the flame.
Sir, ඇයි එච්චර ඒවා දෙන්නේ? හැමතිස්සෙම.
That's compulsory. ඒක අත්‍යවශ්‍යයි. Very easy, right? When you observe the nature of the flame, you have to understand. So this flame is complete combustion occurs in this region. Partial combustion or the incomplete combustion occurs in this region. So likewise, you have to know. So this is the reason, right? Okay, let's draw a candle flame. Shape is like this. And you can see a dark zone, dark region like this. A dark region. Right? And so you can see this slightly visible, this outer region. So plenty of oxygen is available in this region. And due to the convection current, more oxygen is attracted to this region. Convection current in the මේ ප්‍රදේශයට හුඟක් oxygen එනවා. Therefore, you can see a blue region here. මම මේ හේතු කියන්නේ නෑ හරි. note එකට දෙන්නෙත් නෑ. Because of that convection currents, heated air moves up and cool air come down. So more oxygen supplies received to this lower part of the flame. So blue zone can be seen here. Blue zone, right? නිල් පැහැති කලාපය. And this is non-luminous zone. අදීප්තයි අඳුරුයි dark zone එක. Non-luminous zone. Non-luminous zone. දීප්ත කලාපය. Luminous zone. Although this blue zone is with complete combustion, we cannot get much light. Here, much heat. Blue means more heat, less amount of light. Yellow means, so that's the luminous zone. එතනින් තමයි ආලෝකය ලැබෙන්නේ. Luminous zone. Right? So you can get more light. More light, less heat. Blue zone means Sabita? Less light,
Less light, more heat.
more heat. More heat is generated because complete combustion occurs here. Blue zone means complete combustion. Complete combustion occurs. Non-luminous zone, තාම burn වෙච්ච නැති මොනවද මෙතන තියෙන්නේ? What exists here?
Wax.
Wax, ඉටි වාෂ්ප. So here's a liquid wax, solid wax, wax vapor. Wax vapor can be seen there. Here what you can see, මෙතන මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Solid wax. What you can see here, liquid wax. Here also you can see, හොඳම තැන මෙතන, right? It's a liquid wax. Always liquid wax exists and it's vaporized to form this liquid vapor. So now this liquid vapor is not burnt. Here, the incomplete combustion occurs. Actually, yellow means heated carbon soot. රත්විච්ච carbon දැලි තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. So that's a luminous zone. And outer zone, that's barely visible. This barely visible means හොඳටම පේන්නේ ලාවට පේන්නේ. The luminous zone, this outer zone is also subjected to the complete combustion.
So what is the color of luminous zone?
Luminous zone color is yellow, right? That's yellow. ඉටිපන්දමක් දැකලා තියෙනව නේද? You have seen that the flame of a candle. This outer zone. So you can see the plenty of oxygen is available, so complete combustion occurs. So this luminous zone, what it consists, unburnt carbon particles, right? Unburnt carbon exists. රත් වෙලා දිලිසෙන carbon තමයි එතනදී. Unburnt carbon particles can be seen there. ටිකක් වැදගත් ආලා තියෙනවා අපේ සබ්රි. ඉටිපන්දමක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා? ඉටිපන්දමක්. ඒක පුතා මේ වයසේදී ඔයා දැනගන්න ඕන දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. හරි? ඔයාගේ තාම දැනගන්න චූටි වැඩි සබ්රි, right? ඔයා ටිකක් ලොකු නම් මං කියලා දෙන්නකෝ. So what's known as ඉටිපන්දම. තකහනේ නේ සබ්රි. ලොකු වෙලා ඉගෙන ගමු ලොකු දේවල් ඈ.
කැඩෙන එකක් කියන එකනේ. ඒක පොඩි එකක්. ඒක කියයි දෙන්න.
නෑ සබ්රි දැකලත් නෑ ඒක තාම චූටිනේ ලොකු වුණාම කැන්ලයක් කියලා දෙන්න. What are the three major clearly visible regions of the candle flame? Blue zone, non-luminous zone, and luminous zone. So that's outer zone is the fourth type. So that's barely visible. ලාවට පේන. Right? So what are the things you have to know? What exists in non-luminous zone? Okay. Did you take this down? පුතාලා මේක ඇඳගත්තද? Did you draw this? Did you label all the stuff you have to take down, right? මේකක්ම විභාගෙට එනේව තියෙන්නේ. Evan, can I see your diagram? Okay, good. So all the important thing you have to mention. Tesuka, what's your... Okay. Yes, good. ලොකුවට එනන් තියෙනවා බොහොම හොඳයි. Yes, Tanul. Oh, it's clear. Javan. Yes, Heron's one. Good. Yes, Javanese. I need the diagram. Okay, move it to your side. ඔයාගේ පැත්තට ගන්න. අපිට තියෙන්නේ diagram එක. පිටිපස්සට කළා නම් හරි. Okay, good. Sanolis, show me your note. All right. Now, take down this question. ඔයාලා දැනගන්න ඕන දේවල් මෙන්න මේවා. Right? First question, take down. What are the substances in non-luminous region? What are the substances in non-luminous region? What's the reason to occur blue zone? What's the reason to occur blue zone at the bottom of the flame? What's the reason to make blue zone at the bottom of the flame? Flame එක යට නිල් පැහැති කලාපයක් ඇති වුණේ ඇයි? Next, what exists in luminous zone? What exists in luminous zone? හොඳට අහගන්න මේ රත් වෙච්ච carbon particles උඩට යද්දි නිමෙනවා. Then that illumination cannot be seen. Instead, we can see that carbon suit, carbon දැලි ටික පිට වෙලා. Right? So this is science behind
Sir,
that.
what is the third question?
Sorry? Third question is, what exists in luminous zone? මොනවද මේ luminous zone එකේ තියෙන? What exists in luminous zone?
Sorry, sir, can you repeat from the first sentence?
First question. You mean first question?
No, sir, all the questions.
පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්නේ කවුරු ලියාගත්ත පුතෙක් කියන්න? Who tell it? Yes, Tanu, tell it, please. First question.
Sir, I also don't know.
You also did not write. Okay. එහෙනම් punishment එකක් විදිහට වීඩියෝ එක බලලා ලියාගන්න. Right? So what's the first question? So I asked about this blue zone. What's the reason? No, I asked what are the substances
Sir,
in
can I tell
non-luminous
the
zone?
questions?
What are the substances in non-luminous zone? That was the problem. That was a question asked. ලියාගත්තු අය අත උස්සන්න. What are the substances in non-luminous zone? Tisuka, read the second question. විභාගයට එනවා මම මේ කියන්නේ, right? So what you have to know. Tisuka, read the second question I asked you to write. Tisukata mic එක on කරන්න බැයිද? මම කියන එක ඇහෙන්නේ නැද්ද? What happens?
What are the substances in non-luminous
No,
zone?
I need Tisuka, right? I asked Tisuka to read it.
What is the reason to make a blue zone on the flame?
What's the reason to create a blue zone at the bottom of the
Flame.
flame? Good. Right. Last question I made. අන්තිම ප්‍රශ්නේ මම කොහමද දුන්නේ? මම අහලා තියන්නේ luminous zone එක ගැන. Yes, Vihanga, tell it. You could not write, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Dinuka Mihiranga. Did you write the last question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, read it, Buddha.
What are the substances in non-luminous zones? Non-luminous.
Okay, read it again.
What are the substances in non-luminous zone?
Yes, what are the substances in? No, that's the first question. I want to need the last question. What exists in luminous zone? What exists in luminous zone? Luminous zone එකේ මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Last question.
Can I tell?
No, no, you have to answer. That's homework, right? Last question. What kind of combustion occurs? What kind of combustion occurs? What kind of combustion occurs in outer zone? What kind of combustion occurs in outer zone? Right. So you have to know these things. What exists in this non-luminous zone, right? So that's unburnt, unburnt wax vapor. Unburnt wax vapor exists. In this luminous zone, what exists? So that's heated and illuminated carbon suits. රත් වෙලා දිලිසෙන carbon අංශු තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Carbon suits, right? Or carbon. Heated carbon exists in luminous zone. So blue zone, what kind of combustion occurs? This complete combustion occurs. So it consists much heat, but less amount of light. So maximum heat can be seen in this complete combustion occurring places. That means outer zone. Right. So next we are going to study the Bunsen flame. අපි පුතේ ඊළඟට Bunsen flame එක ගැන ඉගෙන ගන්නයි. Right. Take down the topic. Bunsen flame. Okay, let's draw first the Bunsen burner, right? Right, there's a ring around which there's an air vent here. Yes, sometimes this gas tube, I think you can see that here. School Bunsen burner එකේ පුතා මෙතන නේද තියෙන්නේ. You can see that base of the burner and gas supplies somewhere around here. So there's a connection to this tube. Okay, draw it like this. Base is somewhat bigger. Okay, there's another region. Dark blue and light blue region there. An invisible outer zone. As that was in candle acid. Okay, let's name the parts. Air pour or air vent. So this is called the collar. Gas tubes, and this is the food. Right, now let's name the zones. Non-luminous zone, unburnt gas. Non-luminous zone. Non-luminous zone. Dark blue zone. So here's a dark blue, right? If you can color this, doesn't matter. And this is light blue zone. Dark blue zone and light blue zone. Right. Now tell me, if you want to get a yellow color flame, what do you have to do? If you want to get a yellow color flame, or a yellow color flame එකක් අවශ්‍ය නම් මොකද කරන්න වෙන්නේ? Tanul, what do you have to do? If you want to get a yellow color flame, oxygen වැඩි වුණොත් blue flame එක එනවා, complete combustion වෙලා. Yellow means incomplete combustion. So what you have to control? The oxygen supply. Yes, Tesuka, we have to control the oxygen supply. So therefore, we have to partially close this air vent, right? So you can see this invisible zone. Invisible zone. Right, you write here. Color of the flame is adjusted adjusted with the amount of oxygen supply. Color of the flame is adjusted with the amount of oxygen supply. Color of the flame is adjusted with the amount of oxygen supply. Yes, how to control the oxygen supply? Size of the air pore. Have to be adjusted. Right. Non-luminous sun, what it consists in non-luminous zone? Unburnt. Abid, what's that? Unburnt wax? Nevel, what exists? Unburnt gas. Unburnt gas gives that non-luminous zone. And all other instances where the blue color of the flame exists, blue color of the flame, all other instances, what you can see, complete combustion occurs.
Sir, can you see?
Looks, it seems like a nice one. You just colored, right? Okay, so you have to draw somewhat elongated flame, right? It have digga delakani. It's a good one. Tanul, where's yours one? Yes, Tisuka's one. It's nice. There's some important part missing. Non-luminous zone consists what? You have not taken it down. Yes, Heron's diagram. It's good. Yes, Neha, did you draw this? Sabri? Anuk, can I see your diagram? Yes, Anuk's diagram. John, that's lights and shadings. It's nice, but not essential in science, right? It doesn't matter. It's good. always we draw line diagrams in science. Science is some line diagrams අදින්නේ. අර pencil එකෙන් අපිට ලස්සනට මේ පරයාවලෝකනය පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන්. We can show it nice like this, but it is not expected. Shading spinner or neither. Him අවශ්‍ය නැහැ, right? No need that. Just a line diagram. Anul, did you draw this? Can I see your diagram? Anul Satsara, did you draw this diagram? Kome Tanula. මොකද අද නිකම් නංගිගෙන් ගුටි කාලා වගේ මොකද නිකම්ද? Invisible. Good. There are some of important things here. Take this down. I think you were disconnected. Yes, color of the flame is adjusted to with the amount of oxygen supply. පුතා මේ අද ක්ලාස් එකට ආපු නැති දරුවෝ ටිකත් හොඳට අහගන්න. ඊළඟ සතියේ අපිට තියෙන්නේ ටිකක් බැරෑරුම් කොටසක්. So that's always appeared in the exam. මේ පාඩම් හරිම වැදගත්. So you cannot get rid of them. So again it comes in grade 11. ආ 11 වසරේදී ආ එනවා මේක. Right? So you have to know that clearly. Especially metal corrosion. හැමෝම මේ බය පාඩමක් තමයි electrochemistry වල tarnishing of metals. So we have to know that experiments. We have to do that experiment in next day. So therefore your participation next time is essential. හරි ඉතින් පුතාලා වීඩියෝ ටික මේක බලා ගන්න මම නෝට් එකකුත් දාන්නම්. මේක අනිවාර්යෙන් කරන්න ඕනේ. So you have to draw these things. Right, did you write all the stuff in the board?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, let's stop here then. Abita, is it okay? our ප්‍රශ්න වලට උත්තර මම ඊළඟ සතියේත් අහද්දි කියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ කියන්න බෑ කියන්නේ ඕගොල්ලෝ කවදාවත් මේ පොත බැලුවේ නැහැ කියන එක. Right? So nice background behind you. So all of the boys like to be. Right? Okay. එහෙනම් පුතාලා පාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේ. So you have to study well, right? ඔයාලගේ මේ note එක මේ diagrams ටික group එකට දාන්න. Put your groups, put your diagrams to your group, right? Then others are encouraged. අනිත් අය එතකොට ටිකක් උද්‍යෝගිමත් වෙලා වීඩියෝ එක බලනවා. Do it just now, right? Okay, so thank you so much for the participation. Have a nice night. තෙරුවන් සරණයි. God bless you.
Goodbye, sir.
Everyone, so nice. Good